I'm sorry, it was just another day of working day, and then Anubhav just called and why don't you come and present? So excuse me for my attire, but yeah. So we are Nano Health. We are basically trying to change the way healthcare is perceived as of now. So till now, I mean, healthcare is primarily that I'll go and a good thing is a lot of people are going and getting their annual health checkups done, and but usually it's most of the times the data says that it just stops over there until unless something there's a significant symptom which you find. On one hand, disease trends are changing. There are more and more diseases like diabetes and hypertension which are completely asymptomatic, which you don't feel it, you don't see it. That's happening, and the other thing is these diseases especially need a very long-term management. It's like not like I have a fever, I get a shot or I get antibiotic, and after that I'm absolutely fine. On the other hand, all the health systems, when you say like hospitals, clinics, and everything, when you go there, you can get the science has I would say gone too deep, and that there has been amazing progress which has been made. But at the same time, once you come out of it, and and again you have no symptom, then again you are waiting. Most of the time, the people wait for the next symptoms to arrive to again go back to the clinics and get more care. So where we come in, and what we are providing is that okay, the health is not just about one-time thing, or it's not only about you go and get the care when the symptoms arrive. It's there are especially the diseases which are now more and more affecting our society, which needs this long-term care. So we say that the solution lies in the actual building a proactive and a continuous care management. So we at Nano Health have been able to come up with a solution like that. So what we do is at first we all start with a very simple health assessment. But this simple health assessment actually tells you that what more care you need. So we also help you get all of that care. That like we'll be able to tell you what additional diagnostics you may need, when you should be going to a doctor. The doctor says that, hey, it's time to, you come back after 2 months. How many of us, when the doctor asked to come back after 2 months, we have actually gone after 2 months, right? And so the entire care coordination with the providers. And not only that, it's also about, this health coaches keep a continuous periodic tab on you. So if you have a high blood pressure, then they will take your data at least say once a month, and then based on that they will actually tell you that hey, it's high or low, or whether it's time to go back to the doctor or not. So ultimately, of course, definitely doctor is the super boss, he decides everything for you, but there's a whole layer of management which is required to ensure that the quality of overall care which is given to you is effective and efficient. So what we have been able to do is to actually link the various stakeholders within the entire health ecosystem. So be it right from the patient to the doctor to the health coaches to the phlebotomist. So basically there is one single source of information focused on absolutely on the patient or the user, and all the entire ecosystem kind of revolves around that. So these are, the quick features for solution is like register. You can do a quick registration, you can do a health screening, you can follow up with all the high-risk patients, you can do an appointment booking. Then referral pathway is kind of suggested and recommended. There are data-driven preventive check and reminders. When he was talking about deep tech, so there are things like, if you have say blood pressure, and for a long time, say more than 3 months, the system would automatically suggest is, hey, maybe it's time to go ahead and get an ECG test done. Maybe it's time to go ahead and get a cholesterol test done, because these are small, I would say simple symptoms are actually telling a lot more about your body. So yeah, and so we have a corporate offering, and basically it starts from a basic health assessment based on that. So today for the large corporates, what happens is, we want to do something in the wellness. Let's do a yoga. Let's do some program. But usually, almost at no time there is a data-driven approach to actually decide that what program should be run. So what we are doing is, based on this data, we are actually able to kind of suggest you that, hey, what are the programs which you should be running in your corporate? And not only that, we are also able to show the actual impact of that. So if you're, for example, your BMI, average BMI of your entire organization, so average BMI itself is I would say a very unique concept when you're talking about that organization level. I mean, said, okay, it's beyond 28 that, hey, what is more important is to actually run weight loss program for your organization and not, say, yoga, for example, right? And similarly, if, say, 60% of your organization smokes, then the smoke cessation program is more important than, something else. So things like that, now you can take a decision. And then there is the whole disease management, which is, I would say, still kind of very new in India, where you can actually have health coaches and basically they will kind of guide you and counsel you and take your data periodically to ensure that your overall health is in control. So yeah, I mean, this is okay. I see the ICS, but anyway, that's fine. So this is how the dashboards at the organization levels look like. Okay, so it's like how many people, employees you have, male, female, and the risk profile of your entire organization. Okay, so each individual gets their own app where they'll be able to see their own data, but this is at our organization level where you are able to actually see that risk profile. Over a period of time, you can actually see that how they have actually used the services which is being provided. Or you can say that how the BMI has changed for the entire organization. I mean, so this, I bet you haven't seen. So, and this is an individual health, how that has changed. So when we identified on 8 March 2017, then this was his blood pressure, and then over a period of time, I know how he has lost like 10 kgs with us. He was identified with high cholesterol for the first time, and then he's absolutely in good health, and he's very confident that he's in good health. So I think that's the confidence we bring in. So we started in 2014 when I was studying at Indian School of Business. We were awarded this prize by President Bill Clinton. We have since then we have touched more than 70,000 people. So that's the kind of data volume which we are capturing. Recently, ISB also helped us do an impact study which very clearly said that anyone who has been on our program for more than 12 months, there was a significant reduction in their health parameters. So we basically say that, okay, it's like a full circle. We identify who needs care, ensure that they are getting the care, and then we prove that with the real improvement in the health parameters. So what we call as the PDCA has been, I would say, we have been discussing for forever in engineering and manufacturing and planning people, but health, it has never been able to. We have never done that. So now we are kind of bringing that to the health ecosystem. So I'll just quickly show you how exactly it works. So this is what we talked about. So there is a health assessment which is done. Then out of that it talks about what more care you need, and based on that care required. So this is how a health coach will take your data. She'll take your demographic data. She'll take your clinical history. Take your clinical. There are a lot of inbuilt algorithms which ensure that so it immediately comes up with a color-coded risk grades. Then a patient get a notification that, okay, this is your data. So whatever data was captured, it directly comes over here for a patient group. There are specific recommendations based on that. You can book appointments from there. The doctor will be able to log into his portal, and you'll be able to see exactly the same data. You can have a video consultation with the patient directly right on the phone. With the doctor, right? With the doctor, yeah. So the doctor will write the prescription, and that prescription immediately comes to the patient in their app. The patient can order medicine from there. Once he receives the medicine, either the thing that did you take the medicine or not. So you can actually capture that how many times you took the medicine. If you say that you did take the medicine, you'll say, oh, awesome, your family loves you. Yeah. And what I was talking about, like recommendations, is something which was saying we are able to analyze this long-term horizontal data to actually give you very personalized, specific feedback. So. Sure, I think we'll take questions at the end of the second presentation. And one other thing we realized that all of us, realize that we do need a care like this. But how many of us are actually ready to kind of put our money there? Oh, okay, I do need this monthly testing, right? So there's a whole behavioral change which is required, but we are not there yet. But it's already happening in things like, for example, US, where the healthcare cost is so high that if you don't take care of yourself, then you are like gone. So, but here I would say the costs are rising. I think till the time we get there, or you're pitched by. So we all have like grown up hearing health is wealth, but still we don't value it like our wealth. So that's what we're talking about. So it's slow, but it's definitely gradually increasing.